Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly. So this week we have seen reports and rumours saying rather different things about the situation between Lopetegui and Kudus. But now it appears that it may have been blown slightly out of proportion, and hopefully things are a lot more okay than we thought. So to give you a little recap, as we know, Lopetegui took Kudus off at half-time and replaced him with Soler in the game against Brentford. And then in his post-match press conference, literally cannot speak today, he spoke about it being for tactical reasons, and he stuck by his decision, mentioning that we did work better as a team in the second half, in his opinion, because of what he'd done. And I think the whole argument was that he felt that players were playing as individuals rather than a team, which is something that we have said we've seen with players this season so far, is that we're not linking up and we're not really being creative as a team, and it is more individual performances, losing the ball and then struggling. So we can clearly see that Lopetegui isn't afraid to make big substitutions. I've done a separate video on this as well about how many subs we're using this season versus last season. But there is a positive update in that it doesn't sound like Kudus was anything other than a bit frustrated about being taken off. Understandably, we see it all the time with Premier League players. So what's now being said is that Lopetegui and Kudus never had to be separated, unlike the initial reports suggested where they had to be pulled apart in the dressing room. They've also said that West Ham reached out to Kudus after the incident, so the actual club, to make sure that there were no issues between him and Lopetegui. So it sounds like we're doing due diligence in that we're making sure everyone is settling in nicely. So by the sounds of things, frustrations bubbled over at half time, words were had, and now it's time for us all to move on and be happy again. We know that Kudus is a key player and he's been incredible for us this season, as he has since he signed, to be honest. Even Gvardiol from City said that Kudus was the toughest opponent that he'd faced. So basically, it would be mad for us not to use the player, and that probably did play a part in why Kudus was so shocked and frustrated at being taken off at half time, where he's gone from being a player that would never be dropped to that. I think the most important thing here is that it doesn't seem that there's an ongoing issue. The player isn't going to be impacted long term, and we can just hopefully focus on our game against Ipswich on Saturday, go again and do what's best for the side. There is a massive relief for me because trouble in the dressing room would be a shocker so early. Naturally, though, when new managers do step in, not every player is going to be happy with having to prove themselves or being taken off, obviously, when they are performing well. And while I personally would not have been taking Kudus off, it's important that every player does have to work for their spot. And I actually think that this healthy competition can really be a good thing in teams because it forces even the best players to give 100% every single game. People have had frustrations with Paqueta where it feels like some weeks he's just not got his foot on the ball and he's not really putting in as much effort, or maybe he's being a bit lazy or a bit lax and then loses the ball. So things like this, I think if you know that you are replaceable, sometimes that little reminder for Premier League players can be a good thing because it does remind them that they do have to give 100% for every single second that they're on that pitch if they want to remain on that pitch. There you go. Let us know your thoughts on the situation down below in the comments section, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button to help support the channel. That's all from me for now, but tune in at 5 p.m. where I'm going to be running through your Hammers headlines for today. I just couldn't wait to put this update out. Too much news going on today. Had to do it as a separate video, but have a great one. And until next time, if you're new around here, by the way, make sure you subscribe. Have a great day. Come on, you irons.